I can't even count the number of times that people have told me they're afraid of running out of things to say. And I know scientific notation, so I can count pretty high. A lot of communication gurus' solutions to this problem boil down to be confident and it'll come naturally. And while I've found this to be true in the long run, it doesn't really help much for someone who's just trying to have more conversational capacity than Stephen Hawking. To remedy this situation, I'm going to give you guys the primer on how to keep talking forever. Or better yet, how to get your conversational partner to do the talking for you. Now, firstly, I'll say that while I don't recommend it, you can find things to talk about and engage your partner with, even if you have absolutely no redeeming characteristics. The primary way that great interpersonal communicators keep a conversation afloat is by turning to their partner's favorite subject, themselves. If it turns out that they don't love themselves, then send them to watch my YouTube videos and try again later. Now, to really get the paragon of virtue across from you on a roll about themselves, you're going to ask some open-ended questions. These have no simple one-word answers and require an in-depth explanation. I like to ask people, are you a beaver? 'Cause damn. But you can ask whatever you like as long as it's something that you actually care about. You really just want to avoid yes or no questions here because, much like flying a passenger jet over Syria, you're probably going to get shot down. In addition to open-ended questions, there's also some technique that can be applied to sentence structure, and yes, I know it's boring, but simple changes here can have a huge impact. So people typically avoid pain, right? Well, as you probably know, for most people, thinking is really quite painful, so be a boss and do the thinking for them. Don't ask the cutie with the pipette skills if she wants to get dinner with you at this great Chinese place. Tell her, you would love this Chinese restaurant, come with me for lunch. This removes all ambiguity and thinking required because it's not even a question. She doesn't have to wonder if she'll like it, and she doesn't even have to think about if she wants to go with you because you just told her that she did. Important to note here is that you're not actually forcing her to go with you, you're just assuming the sale. Essentially, this is a shortcut to appearing confident. The main point to be made here is that as someone who leads the conversation, you're removing the burden of thinking for your partner by starting sentences with the most interesting thing possible, them, and then leading them to the conclusion you intend. Thusly, this technique can be very persuasive. As another quick illustration, if you have to ask your boss for some time off, do you think it'd be more effective to say, can I have Friday off, or can you do without me this Friday? As another quick aside in the same vein, if someone's telling you about an experience that they're hyped about and that you're familiar with, don't immediately jump in with a, oh yeah, I love waifu body pillows and day drinking too. Let the person talk for however long they will about their exciting experience, and then drop the casual and hard-hitting relation to your own life afterwards. This is an error I see a lot of people make, and if you wait to relate to the person, you can really get a lot more mileage out of the conversation, while also not appearing too eager to relate to them. Anyway, so lastly, I'm just going to mention the science of psychology, and in particular the exercise of free association. This is essentially where you start with any random idea and begin talking about it and following wherever your crazy thought process leads. Historically, free association was used by Freud to psychoanalyze people because their thoughts would eventually lead to underlying cognitions that were causing problems. So if you do this, just be aware that it might eventually lead to you talking about you fucking your sister. Which, while interesting, typically ends conversations quite fast. Especially if they're with your sister. Practicing free association can be done anywhere, and I like to practice out loud, particularly while I'm driving in my car alone. This is an integral skill for improvisation and general thinking on the fly. In the beginning, you may notice that, similarly to Hillary Clinton's speechwriting think tank, your mind will go blank rather quickly. However, with practice, you'll begin to bring up all those interesting and truly disturbing aspects that likely define your psychology. So, thanks for watching me improvise this video. Just kidding, I have a script. If you're still having trouble talking to people, you might as well just bring a screenplay with you and start reading off the lines. I recommend Hamlet. Or you can check out the recommended reading in the description for more in-depth techniques that I'll probably be covering in future videos. Subscribe to me to be notified next time I feel like making a video, and feel free to contact me or leave a comment if you're interested in discussing this topic. See you next time.